Hello and welcome to another tutorial for Tire Base. Today we're going to see how to create work orders. Where do I see all of the work orders? How can I edit them? All of that information about work orders, we're going to see all of that in this video. So to start, we just have to click here. This is the menu button. So we're going to go to the work order section. As you can see, we have all of our work orders scattered all across this screen. We have our quote and work order number, as you can see right here. We have our invoice number. So once we have an invoice, we're gonna have our invoice number. As you can see, some of these quotes and work orders have not invoice number since they are in the middle of a process to become an invoice. We also have the customer, the type of order, in this case invoice, quote, work order, canceled, and we also have a refunded one. We have the total section of open date when it started, and we have some actions for each and every one. We also have the total, the open date when it started, and the actions for each and every single one of these work orders and invoices. Okay, so let's just whenever you see a highlighted number like this means that it's a quote or a work order, and it means that you can edit this order specifically. So once we click here, we're going to be able to see the work order, all of its information. We're going to be able to add products. We're going to be able to delete products, and we could convert this to an invoice in case we already finished with this. But let's just close it. We have also this invoice details icon. So whenever you click on it, you're going to be able to see all of the products and specs, services, everything about this work order without edited. So it's just a quick review. So we can have all the information. You can jump into the actual customer if you want to click on it, but this is the actual place where you can see all of the information for the work orders or quotes. You can print it from here as well. So whenever you click here, as you can see, the PDF is loading. And here's the actual PDF, which we can save it or we can print it in case you need it. Okay, so this is how it works. Whenever you see a car next to the actual number, so this is authorized inspection. It means we already made an inspection. It's already been authorized, so we can move on to convert this work order into a invoice. We also have this icon right here, which is the pending inspection. This means we already made a work order. We already added items, or we already added services. And this work order specifically is waiting for the inspection to be done. But this is what you would encounter normally in this section, this kind of icons and these highlighted numbers. Whenever they're not highlighted as this one, so this means it's an invoice, as you can see, and we have our invoice number. So we're not going to be able to edit this invoice. The only thing we can do is we can consult. We can consult the actual invoice. We can get all of the information. What was the payment method, the amount, the payment date, and we can also print it from here. But basically, that's how it works. These are the invoices with their invoice number, and these are the work orders quotes with their work order quote numbers. Okay, for actions for each one of these, you can either make a refund. We're talking about an invoice in this case. You can make a refund. You can send an email. You can also send an SMS in this case. You can print it, and you can see the preview as well. This button right here, the preview, works as well as if you click right here in this icon. Okay. And if we have a work order, what we can do is we have more options. We have the refund one, send email, SMS, cancel. We have print, preview, and also we have the send to sign. In this case, you can send this work order or this quote. In this case, it's a work order, but you can send it to your customer so they can send it, so they can sign it back, so you can have that sign in your actual work order displayed. Okay. So what we're going to do now, now that we've already seen how all of this works, we also have our filters right here. And this filter section works the same. Whenever we click here, we'll be able to see we also have a section for filters. So whenever you click here on filters, you're going to be able to see this information right here. So you're going to be able to see the type of order that you want to see displayed here. So whenever you click, for example, work orders, you only want to see work orders from a specific date. You can search, and then you're going to be able to see all of your work orders. The same with invoices, refunded, canceled, quotes. But in this case, we're going to leave it to all. Perfect. All right, so now we can move on to create a new order. To create a new work order or to start a quote, the first thing you got to do is you got to click here on the new order button. So once we get this screen, we have several options. We can search for a customer. We can use a cash customer, which would be a one-time customer. Let's just say a customer that you don't want to have all of its information because probably he just buys from you from time to time. But if you have a customer that's constantly coming to your store, or if you want to keep information about that customer, you can create the customer here. So you can search it. As you can see, you just type in and then you just click search or enter in your mouse, in your keyboard. Sorry. So you can search for your customer. Just type in its name, click enter, and you'll be able to see all of your customers. And then you can select from actions. You can select the actual customer you want to use for the work order or quote. In this case, we're going to create a new one. So let's just click on create customer. And as you can see, we have this screen right here. So it says we have the individual or business. It depends on if this particular customer is just an individual, or if it's a business, we can have the business name here with all of its information. As you can see, whenever we click on individual, some of the fields change, but the information, it's fairly the same. We also have a fax, as you can see right here. It doesn't work whenever we click on an individual, but this is how it works. So we have on individual first name, we have last name, phone number, email. We got the billing addresses. We also have city, state, zip code, and we also have a price level section, which is what kind of discount you want to give to this customer. So whenever we click here, we're going to be able to see all of our price levels. We're not going to go in detail on how this works because that's for another video. But basically, here's where you can select what kind of price level you want to apply to your customers. In this case, we're going to leave it blank. Also, default rate, we're going to select. In this case, we're going to just leave it like 0. But you can add taxes or percentages on taxes in here. Okay, so we're going to fill in this information. Okay, now that we have all of this information right here, as you can see, we have the first name, last name. We already added also the kind of payment it's this kind of customer is going to have. So we have the cash on. Hold on. So now we have another options here. So as you can see, we have COD, which is cash on delivery. This is a collecting payment method. And we have another payment method, which is the terms collecting method. Basically, the one that says cash on delivery right here is for whenever the customer is going to pay the whole amount whenever they get their goods or their services. So this is a on the spot. So they're gonna pay you, and you're gonna deliver the service or the goods. And terms would be different. In this case, we have the terms set to we had to set a credit limit for this customer. So you can set here like $5,000, and basically that's gonna be applied to the balance of the customer. You can also select the terms you want to have with this customer. So maybe they will pay every 10th or every 30 days. You can set the terms you need. You can just select here the plus button, and then you can select the name of the actual term. Then on the term type, you got to select if it's going to be for days from the invoice. In this case, if you created the invoice today, which is the 13th, you can also say it's going to be due on X amount of days. You can also do it by day, so you can select day of the month. In this case, if you want to say it's going to be paid every the 15th of each month, so we can select that as well. Once we save, it's going to apply those terms to the actual collecting payment method. But in this case, we're going to leave it. Also, sorry, you can also select the override credit limit, which will go over the credit limit in case you want to be flexible with the customer. But in this case, we're going to use the cash on delivery payment method. So as you can see, it's once you select it, it's going to work just like that. We also created some notes. In here, I placed a note that says only Carlos E. In this case, this is the guy's name. So can buy with this account. If someone comes in and says, "Hey, my name is Rodrigo, and I want to buy with Carlos' account," we have this note to pop up every time we want to create a new order, telling us that only Carlos is the only one who can buy with this account. All right. So we're gonna save this information. And as you can see, here's the note. Only Carlos E can buy with this account. Okay, we click OK here. And it's gonna redirect us to this section, which is the place where we can search for products. We can add the quantity, add services. This is where we start creating our quote. Okay, so breaking down this section right here, we have the information on the quote. So this is the number of the quote. We have a button that says Save As. We're going to touch these buttons at the end of all these tour on this section. We have the information of the customer. We can always edit it here. Or in case you want to change of customer, you can always click here on the plus button and search for the customer or create another customer. The same as we did before. We have this section, which is the addresses. So as you can see, here's the address we added for the customer. You can always add more than one address. So you can click here on add, and you can add all of the information, state, city, and zip code. So we're going to go with this one. This is the one that's selected. Close it. All right. And then we're going to go to add a car. Let's go to this section, which is the vehicle section. I'm going to select the plus button. As you can see, we don't have anything right now. So what we can do is we can add it. There are two ways we can add it from here. So we can click on add, and there's we have this section which is search with Carfax, which lets you pick the state and the license plate. Once you click search, it's gonna give you all of the information about that car. So in this case, we're just gonna select New York in here. So it's New York. Then on license plate, we're gonna go LAF. Like that. Once we click search, we're gonna get all of the information about that specific car with that license plate. So as you can see, we have a 222 Subaru, and we have all of its information. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill it manually in this time. So we're gonna just close it. We're gonna add. And then what we're going to do is search with Carfax. Normally is that's what will pop up. But what you can do is you can go ahead and click on, you can also manually fill the information. So once you click here, you can select from here all the information. So 22, we're going to go with Subaru. It's the car. You can specify also the miles, state, license plate. And if you have the VIN number, you can also place it here. You can select the unit number, color of this specific vehicle, the engine size, transmission, drivetrain, and also if you want to add notes on this car, If it has some things that you must specify about this car, you can also add that information here. But with this, we can save it. We can have our car here, as you can see. So once we select it, it's going to be displayed here. Okay, now let's go ahead and add some products to this quote. So we're going to go and search. This is the first method. We can search by size, by brand. Once you get all of this information, as you can see, we have the information about the product. We got the MFG, we get the description, and also the price and the availability of this specific product. So what we can do is we can select from here, just like that. We select it. We select the quantity. In this case, we're going to select 2. We can add it to the actual quote. So these are services that we added to the system. These are programmed to be added automatically whenever we select this specific tire. But we can delete these, and we're going to go through this how to add automatically these services on another video. We're going to just leave the tire mount base, and there. Okay, so we have our product. We have a label here. What you can do also, you can search with the quick lookup button. So once you click here, you have your search bar. You type in the size or brand as I told you, and you can also select here the brand, the actual from all of these brands. You can select the ones that you want. So let's just say we want a Bridgestone, so we can select it. We can get the information. We can get display on how it looks like. And also we can go and see what's the actual gross profit that's applying, price matrix, all this information. Guys, we're going to go through that in another video covering all of this, but this is how you can look for a product, and you can just select it. Let's just say we want this one. So how much we have? So we have 46 of these. As you can see, here's the stock, and we're going to just add, let's just add one. Once we add it, as you can see, there's services applying to this specific tire, but we can just remove them. So we have these 2 products, these 2 tires. Here we have 2 and 1 of these. We also have the label, which is the road hazard warranty. Okay, so now that we have all of this information, what we can do is we can convert this actual quote to a work order. How we do that? So what we can do is we can go to this button right here. It says Save As. Once we click it, we can convert it as a work order. So let's just do that. As you can see, we already have our work order. It doesn't have an invoice number yet, but we can jump right in clicking on the highlighted numbers. And from here, we get our actual note. Every time you get into this work order, and if the customer has a note, it's going to pop up every single time you get there. So just to make sure that the message is delivered. So now let's pretend our customer wants an appointment for all this service to be done someday in the near future. So let's just do that. Okay, so we're going to go into the appointments checkbox. We select it. Select the day in which we want to have this this service done. So we're going to go for 17th. I'm going to select 10:30, or you can select from here as well. 10:30. Yeah. Also, you can place a reference number. You can write a note. So let's just say, make sure brakes are correctly working. And you can also select technician. In this case, we're going to go with Alan Fortone, and the seller is going to be Richard. All right, so we can have our sellers and our technicians. Once we load those into the actual system, we're going to be able to see them here. You can also load it from here. So in case you have a technician and you want to add it, you can also do it with these buttons, the plus button. Now that we've done this, what we can do is we can also get a payment. Let's just say the customer wants to pay just a part of all this amount. So we can go to the section of payments. We can add, let's just say this customer wanted to add $200 in cash. You can select the payment method. As you can see here, card, check. You can add as many payment methods as you need. Once we select the payment method, you can also select a reference number. This is in case you have a check. You can always have that record here. So we have 200 on cash. We can add it. As you can see, there's the balance, 305. And we can save and close. As you can see, we are still with a work order. It's not an invoice yet. So we can jump right in. As you can see, here's the total. We can jump right in. We get our note. And here's the balance. Here's the amount that the customer must pay. So until this balance becomes a zero, that's when you can convert this work order into an invoice. So now that we've made an appointment, let's just see how it looks like in the system. So we can close it. We can go ahead and select the appointments section. And here's our actual appointment. So we have Carlos E. Green. We have the order. We can always look for the actual work order. We can see the details. We can see if the payments that this customer has done. So as you can see, here's the information. We can jump in to see the customer's information as well from here. We can print the actual work order. And also what we can do is we can change the technician. So in this case, we have Dylan Fulton. Let's just pretend for some reason Dylan couldn't make it, or he was sick, or he's going to be out that day. We can click here and we can select another technician. So let's just say Marco is going to do that. Once we update it, here's the information. You can also resend as an SMS. You can send that information to the customer just to let him know that he has an appointment on the 17th. So you can, so the customer can go to this appointment without delaying. Okay, now let's go back to our work orders. As you can see, we already have our work order. We already created an appointment. And what we can do from here is we can go our notes again, and we can finalize this work order to create an invoice. So as you can see, we have a balance of 305. From here, you can select a different payment method. For card, obviously, we need a terminal. In this case, we're just going to select cash for practicity. So the 305 with 55 cents, we're going to add it. As you can see, the balance is zero. Once we save and close, this is going to become an invoice, and we're not going to be able to edit it any further. So it's very important that you know this, because once you save and close, it's already created an invoice. As you can see, we can print it from here. We can send it to sign, even if it's for SMS, mail, or both. You can also select this option in case you want to send this information to the customer in these two options. And you can also print it from here, so you can get the actual information of the invoice. As you can see, here's the status. Here's the information about the customer. We have all of the products. We also have the notes. And yeah, this is basically how if you send it to sign to the customer before it becomes invoice, you'd be able to see the sign right here. But this is basically how you create work orders, how you convert them from quotes to work orders, and how you convert them from work orders to invoices. And this is how the actual work order section works.